What's going on, YouTube? Snakebite here, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that I think is very important. It's going to be basically why you need to be taking Halo seriously right now. This is kind of a message to amateur players, some professional players, I guess, and anyone who wants to jump into Halo esports. First off, just want to say thank you so much for all the love on the YouTube channel and my Twitch streams. As always, as you could probably hear, I'm getting over a sinus infection. Well, hopefully a sinus infection. So that's why I haven't been doing any intros or anything like that. Shout out to AO for literally crushing the channel while I've kind of been MIA. I've still had a lot of tournaments and stuff to play in, which is where those uploads are coming from, like tournaments and 8s. But now that I'm feeling a lot better, I've only been sick for less than a week, and I'm already feeling almost 100%. I just have a little bit, you can just hear in my voice slightly, right? And so hopefully I should be good after finishing my antibiotics. But so basically, this is a really important video, man, because we just finished the first pro series. I don't know, we had two open tournaments and a professional tournament. We have another open tournament coming up on Saturday, and then a professional tournament the week after. And then I think, I don't have my dates 100%, but I believe we have the championship finals, right? So this video is basically brainstormed, right, through the announcement of Envy and Cloud9, and obviously Sentinels. Sentinels is the organization that we are a part of, picking up a team for Halo Infinite. Now, I just want to talk about some stuff with Halo competitors and anyone looking to compete or whatever the case may be, because the reality of it is this is a really, really, really important time for Halo if you want to make a career out of it. So hopefully these words and kind of the attention I'm going to bring is going to help people take it a little bit more serious and maybe show the opportunity that's really there. Okay, so really quickly, I'm not going to go and read the whole article for you. I will post this article. This is an article that came out the 5th of November, I think, of 2019. Yeah, that's the 5th of November. Sorry, get confused, you know, UK and whatnot. They do the dates backwards. Anyway, so there's three important things to note in this article that I want to talk about, and then go into the orgs jumping in, and then talk about the opportunity presented to you, the amateur player who wants to make a living in Halo Infinite, right? So this article came out. Now, obviously, you know, this is before COVID. This is before the delay of the game. And, you know, whatever you want to say about it, I don't care. Like, in terms of the delay of the game and 343, I don't, whatever, right? But I think that the realization is hitting people very, very much that Halo Infinite esports is gearing up for something big, you know? And Sentinels, Cloud9, Envy, three amazing organizations, wouldn't be jumping into the scene with that not a factor, right? So three important things, or like at least two important things to note from this article is the relationship with team organizations. Basically what they talk about, I believe Tasha wrote this article. Basically what this talks about is, like, 343 has been in contact with top organizations for what seems to be a very long time, okay? And what they were doing with that information and with that contact was establishing, it says it in the article, you know, what do organizations look for, right? When they want to jump into a scene, you know, what makes them want to invest into the players, into the team, into the scene, into the fans, right? Now, you know, when you fast forward after this article, you know, you got Sentinels in now, Envy, Cloud9, and a lot more are looking to come to the scene. There are a lot of big organizations that are looking to come into the Halo scene, right? And I'm sure that Envy and C9 now entering with their own, you know, we've been a part of Sen for quite a while now, but Envy and C9 picking up rosters, I'm sure, tells you that something big is going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen because I'm like everyone else. I don't know when the game is going to come out, but I have personally heard nothing but amazing things for Halo Infinite. So Halo Infinite esports, right? So with the relationships with organizations, what this tells me is that 343 is on the esports side and Tashi's side of it, and I think Elizabeth and all the people who work behind the scenes there are doing a phenomenal job. And I say that because people they were reaching out to orgs trying to understand what is the reasoning for orgs jumping into games, what is going to bring that relationship back, right? And people jumping in tells me they're doing a great job because clearly they're doing something right. There's something going on, right? There's something happening over there that when Halo Infinite Esports drops, everyone's ready for it or getting ready for it. Okay, so that's the first thing that's really important. As an amateur player, it's important for you to know this because in this article, right? They name some of the orgs that have been in Halo. Evil Geniuses, Optic Gaming, Team Envious, Cloud9, Team Liquid, and more. Right now, what this means is that 343, and obviously it's been, these are the orgs that have been a part of HCS, but so 343 has likely been in contact with some, the top orgs, like Sentinels, NVC9, all these people listed, and realistically they're just gathering info, and they've had a long time to do so, right? To make the organization happy. So why it's important for you, the amateur player, to know this is because if big organizations are looking to get into the scene, there's a lot of opportunity if you become a top player in the scene, but also for the amateur player looking to bring a smaller organization in, clearly it's going to be a place to be, right? So that's the first thing to kind of recognize. That's the first important step is, I don't want to say 100% because who knows at the end of the day, but realistically, they're figuring something out that people are really enjoying. Growing international regions, I just love that. It's not the topic of this video specifically, but I absolutely think that Halo needs to be, global, worldwide. I want teams from everywhere competing and being phenomenal teams at that. So, the growing international regions, I'm really hoping is something they're going to take really serious. Now, this is the most important thing. And obviously with COVID, this is probably taken a hit because the reality of it is, who knows, right? With LAN events and traveling and all that stuff and the delay of the game, you just don't actually know. But this is probably one of the biggest things. And in my experience with getting organizations into Halo and dealing with organizations and stuff like that, this roadmap, this roadmap is going to be and is one of the most important steps into getting organizations in. So basically, through all of Halo 5, it's what we lacked. And it is a big reason why we had the fail of Halo 5. Because when orgs wanted to come in, for example, and I'll just say it for personal speaking, when we left Optic Gaming / got dropped, or however you look at it, we really kind of left. But when we left Optic and Optic left the scene, we had a lot of offers from organizations, right? A very good amount of offers from a lot of top organizations. But there was no roadmap. Now, without a roadmap, it is impossible, absolutely impossible for an organization and for a player to come up with some kind of fair deal that is going to make sense for everybody, right? You don't know what's in front. You don't know what's happening now. You don't even hardly know what's happening now. So esports has developed, with the franchise leagues and all this stuff, esports has developed to such a time period where you need to know what you're doing for a full year. Call of Duty has been amazing for console esports. Call of Duty has been amazing at this, and the third kind of thing to bring in here is Esport Engine. Obviously, you guys probably know Adam Apicella, who used to work at MLG, literally did all of this, right? That's who Halo's partnered with now. So we have three really important things happening. And, with LAN events, it's a little bit rough because who knows with travel and all that. But basically, I just think there's a lot of opportunity here. And I just wanted to this is an old article, and I just wanted to bring it kind of full circle because this article was put out and it put a lot of hope to people. It was like, wow, okay, they're working with all these people. Maybe they'll come up with something, right? And when you see these three top organizations jump into the scene, as an amateur player, or maybe even a professional player who just doesn't have an org yet, you should see this as a real opportunity to set yourselves up for Infinite and set yourselves up amazing, right? So we're going to jump into a couple more articles, and then I'll go back to, like, you know, the full cam and talk to you guys. But the reality of it is, hopefully this draws the light that even though people will have issues with 343 because of the game being delayed and all that, and trust me, same, right? Hopefully as a competitor and an amateur and a professional player looking for an organization, this shows you that there is real opportunity happening, and it's happening right now, and you need to get in front of it. Okay, real quick, I just want to point this out. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I just want to show you guys real quick. So I'm gonna go click on this real quick as well. Sorry, my brain is everywhere, but I have so much info, and like hopefully want to get this across to people, right? So I'm hoping it is going to help people. Halo 5 Guardians release date was 2015. The prize money awarded from 75 tournaments, you could see the range, you know, obviously it was 3 years, was $7 million. Okay, 7 mil into Halo 5. Now, I don't know anything about the esports scene, but I can tell you with how esports is kind of looking lately, it is very, very likely that you see, you know, we're going to get a 1-year roadmap, but it's very, very likely that you will see Halo 5 plus better, right? And I'm not just saying money. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about, you know, the league structure with Esport Engine running it, you know, the production value, the where the events are held, because Esport Engine is going to be incredible for Halo, right? But then you, like, Halo has constantly invested, and when I say constantly, I just mean HCS, is it going to invest into Halo Infinite? They've already said that. And top organizations entering now in should tell you that as an amateur player and as a professional player. So 7 million over 3 years. Okay. Now, one of the biggest things I've seen, and one of the biggest complaints I've seen, is people finding it difficult to make it to the top. And that's fair, because in any esport, it is going to be very, very, very difficult. And it's not going to happen overnight. And I'll tell you what, you got to be some insane talent to be the Frosties of the world and Shotsies of the world, to like play for a year as a pro who was kind of like floating around the top 8 to all of a sudden breaking into the top 4. But real quick, I just wanted to point out some of these teams. This is the very last event of 2018, the last event that you will see of Halo 5 on LAN. Obviously, we have the Pro Series now. Our team is back, obviously, as Sentinels. This reciprocity roster, and all I'm going to point out real quick is the people. I'm going to point a few people that are no longer playing or aren't playing currently, right? And what I hope this does is, I hope it really, as an amateur player and professional player, motivates some people, because there is very, very, very much opportunity to become a top team right now in Halo 5 and for Halo Infinite, because for a new game, anything is possible. But, you know, in Halo 5, we were so fortunate where everyone in the top 8, it was your full-time living to be a competitive player, right? For Halo Infinite, I think it's going to be very much the same, if not hopefully even more, you know, for other regions and everything. Like, I think there's so much opportunity here. So real quick, you know, Snipe Down currently signed to TSM Apex. I think Eric will be back, but don't know, right? Top 2 team, obviously these guys ended up signing with Envy and are teaming with APG. Mikwin no longer. So this is we'll say top 3 right now. Actually, we'll go top 4. Snipe Down, not currently playing. I think he'll be back, but not currently playing. APG obviously goes to that team. Mikwin, not playing. Neptune, currently not playing because he's trying to go to Call of Duty. Mikwin can't play, for those of you who didn't know. He works at 343. Shotzi, over in Call of Duty, will not be playing. So in the top 4 already, you could see where the roster, you know, like, look, Splice, who's now Cloud9, picks up Penguin from here. Like, this 3rd place team is basically gone. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this will be the top 4 or anything like that, because that's not the case. But I'm just showcasing a little bit. Like, there's so much opportunity for an amateur player and amateur team to make it, and then even make it onto a professional team after the fact, or make it to a professional team as a unit. You know, L-Town consistently in the top 8 through Halo 5, not playing. I don't want to dive into loads of other people. Because I don't know if like Shooter's playing, who's in the top 8 most of Halo 5. You know what I mean? I don't want to dive into too many people, but basically, I'm just kind of showcasing, you know, Naded has already said he's not going to be competing. I don't know whether he will decide to come back, but who knows? I'm just showcasing, you know, there's new talent that needs to jump in, right? Or needs to be picked up. And it's happening slowly, don't get me wrong. You know, you got Bound coming through Halo 5. But I just wanted to show this list and like actually show people like there are players who cannot play and will not be playing or whatever the case may be. And it happens every year where new talent jumps in, and there's no reason not to think that could be you. Okay, so the point of this video, I know it's a little ranty, okay, and just kind of like everywhere, so I'm sorry if it's been hard to follow. The point of the video is simply to show the opportunity that is happening, and get people to take it a little bit serious, you know, and what I mean by that is not just in the way that you play, but start building your brand. You know, start building your brand, try to get a team, try to stick to a team so you can maybe one day land an organization. You know, this team, No Ice, if you watch this past Pro Series, Jake or AO maybe like put up their placing here. I'm sure HDS tweeted it out. You know, they're an amateur team who came on and they beat one of the other top amateur teams who I would have even said was a professional team in Fung 4, I believe is their team name. And, you know, they're streaming, and all of a sudden, you know, with these guys, you know, Fung 4, No Ice, Ryan Noob's team with Spartan Rain and King Nick. I don't know their team name. Sorry, guys. I know it, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so I know it. You know, there's so much opportunity here that when you're jumping into Halo Infinite, you are going to be some of the top prospects to land organizations and to be placing at the top and to be playing in 8s with professional players and to be getting scrims. And, you know, I feel like people love Halo 5 for the people that are competing in it right now. But basically, you know, as an amateur player, don't be afraid to jump into these open tournaments. Don't be afraid to play against professional players. Every single tournament that we have played in, or almost every single tournament that we have played in, we play our group play, and then when we make it to round 1, the team that is meant to play us in round 1 forfeits, because I don't want to assume, but for the most part I think it's that they think that they're going to lose and they don't want to play us. And the reality of it is that's not the way to go about this. You know, if you're an amateur team, try to lock in with a group of guys that you think are going to help you get to where you want. Don't be afraid to compete. You know, right now it's all online. It's really available. The opportunity is there. And if you are a professional player or maybe breaking into the top, you know, make sure to be streaming. Don't be afraid to upload some YouTube videos of some gameplays if you get them. You know, you just rip them from your streams. People are on the lookout for new talent, right? So, and most importantly, make sure you are presenting yourself the right way. And like, you know, this is the last thing I'm going to say, because I don't think there's much else to say about it. You know, I just wanted to make this to hopefully be a little bit helpful and hopefully encourage some people, encourage some teams. You know, when organizations want to sign you and organizations are looking to invest in you, I guess is probably one of the only ways to put it. What your brand is and who you stand, or you know, who you stand to be and how you are is very important to people, because people don't want to take a risk, right? So if you're a top team coming up, that's all well and good, but if your social media is just toxicity and, you know, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, and I'm not saying you don't need to be yourself, because that's not the case, but clearly, if you want to make it to be a professional player, you need to find the balance of being yourself and like being appropriate to represent a brand. I don't personally, like, no one comes to mind when I say that, just so that it's perfectly clear. Nobody comes to mind when I say that, but you know, be mindful of what you're saying on stream. Be mindful of, you know, what you're uploading to YouTube and what you might be saying. And if it's something that you are doing, cut it out. Like, because if you want to make it to represent a top organization, you know, you need to be mature and be able to represent a brand that is going to invest a lot into you and your team. So that's kind of the end of the video. I don't know where else to go about it. You know, we have an open tournament coming up on Saturday, and a lot of tournaments after that. And really, the purpose of this video is just to motivate people and hopefully help somewhat. So I hope that this video does that. You know, like I said, we don't know when Halo Infinite's coming out, but I think that with these organizations jumping in, there's a lot of opportunity for growth. So if you're an amateur player or an amateur team, or even a professional team who is just maybe breaking into the scene, you know, make sure to take a step back, reflect on yourself, reflect on your team and the image you're setting for yourself. You know, make sure to be doing the right things. It doesn't take a lot to stream. You don't need a camera on if you're, you know, if it's your first time streaming, whatever. And you know, just have fun with it. At the end of the day, the best thing to do is to enjoy it, have fun with it, and that is going to set you up for some of the most success. So hopefully this helps. I don't know, you know, this video idea kind of came about when, after the past few tournaments we played in, people have forfeited against us. And it just kind of like made me feel like, you know, I don't think people are recognizing the opportunity that is necessarily there, you know. And it's not about us. I'm not making this video to be about us, and I don't care. Like, it's whatever, right? But, you know, when you play against our team, maybe you assume you're going to lose as an amateur team, but you know, the Frosties and Ecos and Stellars, and I mean, even me and Royal too, right? Like, we didn't jump into the professional scene and just immediately place top 8 and immediately get picked up by a top team. You know, I had to go through, you know, getting top 12 and losing to teams that were clearly better than us, and getting 3-0'd worse than I think anyone has probably ever gotten 3-0'd. And you know what? Like, I had some individual talent, and dare I say it, I don't think I should have been on the receiving end of some of those 3-0s. But the reality is that as a competitor, it's about constantly progressing, and it's really important to go through those stages. You know, No Ice, a perfect example of someone this past weekend who, you know, they beat a top up-and-coming team in Fung 4, and they put up a great fight against us, to where we recognize that, you know what's funny about it is the week before they did the same thing. They had a different group, but overall they did the same thing. To where now, you know, we're very, very aware, okay, this is a good team over here. And when we play against them, we need to be good. And I guarantee you, at some point, someone in Halo 5, if these guys keep placing consistent, someone in Halo 5 will end up taking a shot on one of those guys, because they need to do something to their roster to try to become amazing. So that's gonna be the end of the video. I hope this helps. I hope this motivates some people. You know, I hope people recognize the opportunity that's in front of them. I don't know how far away Halo Infinite is, but I think getting on the right track now is very important to lead you to a successful future. So I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this helped. Helped anybody who is interested in Halo, period. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.